So if you guys enjoy Hearthstone as much as I do, then I'm sure that some of you have spent some time in the Hearthstone subreddit. And so if you have spent some time there or you're subscribed to the subreddit, then I'm sure you have seen at least one of my crazy combo videos where I set up situations that would never happen in a real game. But what's more likely is that you have seen a video done by Hysteria or Disguised Toast, both of whom have much larger channels than I do, with a mere 2,300 subscribers. So what's the point of this video? Well, every time I make one of these combo videos, I always get asked how I did it or how I set it up. So I'm going to tell you guys the 3 most important things to know in order to understand how we do these videos. And I mean, I know with each video the setup is slightly different, but they pretty much involve the same steps anyways. So the 3 questions that I'm going to answer to give you guys the best understanding of how we do these videos is 1, how do I get 10 copies of a spell? 2, how did I get a class card when neither player is using that class? And 3, how to get 7 of the same minion on the board. So the first question is the most simple to answer, and this will only really be a surprise to newer players. So Lorewalker Cho is the card that you need to duplicate spells. So every time you play a spell, it will put a copy of that spell into your opponent's hand. Now if you have 2 copies of Lorewalker Cho on the battlefield, when you play one spell, it will make 2 copies. And you can just keep repeating this until you get 10 copies of a single spell. Now you can pair this up with Emperor Thorson or Millhouse Mana Storm, and you can play 10 copies of pretty much any spell in the game in one turn. So the second question was, how did I get a class card without either players using that class? So this is actually pretty simple to do. There's a few ways of doing it. One is with Confessor Paletress, although she'll only get you a legendary minion, but sometimes that's all you need because the legendary minions are the ones that have sort of the most interesting effects. Mage has Effigy, so that can work to get a random minion as well. But I personally don't like to use either of these options as they generally take a bit longer to do and are slow. The combo that I like to use is Recombobulator and Shadow Step. And now the great thing with this is when there's Lorewalker Cho on the battlefield, you have unlimited tries to get the right minion that you need. And also, it only costs 2 mana to do because the next time you use Recombobulator, it's free because of the Shadow Step effect. The reason why this combo is so reliable is because you don't need to actually kill the minion like with Effigy. And if you're trying to look for a higher cost minion like a 7 or 8 drop, those can be pretty tough minions to kill, you know. So you need to have a lot of minions on board, and you need to keep pretty much playing them to kill it. And with Lorewalker Cho on the battlefield, yes, you can use spells to kill it and just like keep copying the spell. But the other downside to that is that it starts to fill up your hand more. And if this is a combo where you need to play 10 of one spell, then you need to have an empty hand to do that before you start filling it up with the actual spell that you need. Number 3, how do you get 7 of the same minion on the board? Now this is where it gets really interesting because there's quite a few ways of doing this, but if you only need one specific class to do the combo, then the easiest way of doing this is to use Mage, because Mage has Mirror Entity, Duplicate, and most importantly, Echo of Medivh. And you know, with Echo of Medivh, you can just have 4 minions on the board that are the same, you know, 2 normal copies, 2 Phaseless Manipulators, then you use Echo of Medivh and all of a sudden you have 8, which you can't play 8, but you kill one off and then you just play the 7th one anyways. Another way of doing it is to use Shadow Madness on a minion, and then you can Faceless Manipulator that minion, and then at the end of the turn, your opponent will get both minions because the Faceless Manipulator will copy all like card effects. Of course, this only works if the minion has 3 or less attacks, so if you're trying to copy a minion with more than 3 attack, this method is completely useless. Ever since the release of the Grand Tournament, it's been a lot easier for myself anyways to get 7 of the same minions with the card Convert. The nice thing about Convert is that it's a priest card, and most of the time my combos require a priest because the minions need buffing of some sort, and priest is just the easiest way to do that. Another great thing about Convert is that it can be used in combination with Faceless Manipulator. So if you're able to play Faceless on an empty board, it will just stay as itself. This way, you can buff one minion that needs to be copied, convert to Faceless Manipulator, and then you can just keep Faceless Manipulatoring the buffed minion. So this way, you don't have to keep buffing all of your minions, which can take a lot of time. That pretty much sums it all up. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was informative. And I also really hope that some of the newer players will now understand how we do these crazy combos and they won't be so confused and always ask like what's going on in this situation. The reason why we do these combos is just because it's fun and it's entertaining to see stuff that would never happen in a real game because it requires both players to sort of work together. Thank you so much for watching to the end of the video, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching my stuff. I really appreciate it. If you want, click the links above and you can check out some of my other videos. And if you like what you see, click that subscribe button. Alright guys, take it easy.